Well, the strike isn't over. So I suppose the children have been waiting to hear something about their funnies. Do you like them? Oh, I get a great kick out of them, although we can't get them all. So I'll give you some today. Can't give you all because my time is about up. Here's Dick Tracy. Let's see what Dick Tracy is doing. Now, you remember the situation there where our little friend is in the laundry wagon. Now, here, the first picture is the laundry wagon. It's a yellow laundry wagon. And Wet Wash, that's the driver, you know. He's very calmly sitting down with his back toward the back of the wagon, eating his lunch. Our little friend, Bleeding Heart, what is her name? I'll get it in a minute. She's inside with the money. And she says, "When are you going to let me out of here?" He says, Wet Wash says, "Easy, sister, easy." And then the next picture, and we hear the sound from inside the wagon. Wet Wash says, "I'll let you out when you've decided to give me a better cut of that dough." From the inside. And we see the inside now. "I offered you $1,000. What do you think I am? This is my money." And if you remember, she starts stripping and tearing up the laundry. And she has all of the money in bills in a pillow slip. And we hear Wet Wash, "Listen, baby, I know you're a maid at Van Hoosen's. I saw you there last week. And I know there's something phony about that dough. Now, when we get it, it's going to be 50-50. Okay? Then maybe you'd like some more of your laundry torn to pieces." Rip! She's ripping that laundry there, and a little delicate piece of lingerie. And he looks in. "Ye gods, I lose my job over this. Stop, you win. I'll settle for $5 grand. "All right, open up. It's a deal." Then she says, she has the money in the pillow slip, "Listen, Wet Wash, you're right about seeing me at Van Hoosen's, but I'm actually not a maid. My name's Breathless Mahoney, and this really is my money." "Mahoney? Say, I'll bet I used to pick up your mother's laundry. A Mrs. Mahoney on 3rd Street. Apartment 2? "Why, yes, that's my mother. Now, get this picture. Here is Wet Wash. The doors of the laundry wagon are open. He's leaning with his back toward the wagon, and he's counting his money. 2, 3, 4,000. Now he's getting into the hundreds. 600, 700, 800. And the picture shows a hand of Breathless stretching out. She's got hold of that iron pot. Remember the iron pot she took from the Van Hoosen's gardener's flat to put the money in. And crash! She crashes it on his head. Knocked out. Next picture we see Dick Tracy. You know, the fine type of Dick Tracy? He's been a detective so long, and he still has that slender form. Lou Valentine, why do our detectives get fat, I wonder? Well, anyhow, here's Tracy, and he's asking, the only vehicle that left the house at that time was one of your laundry trucks. I'd like to question the driver. That district, Mr. Tracy, is covered by Wet Wash, Wally. He should be checking in at any time." Not very long, not very soon, from that crash he got on the noodle with that iron pot. And say, children, what does it all mean? It means that dirty money never brings any luck. Remember, this was the money that the dope peddler, the racketeer, had in a safe deposit vault. This was dirty money, like a gambler's money. He was Breathless' stepfather. So no luck came to his wife after she got this $50,000. She shot her daughter in a fight for the money. No luck is coming to Breathless. No luck is coming to the driver. No, dirty money always brings sorrow and sadness and misery and disgrace. She's nobody. The majority want to see her get the works. So, why should I be stupid and flout public opinion? I'll be the popular hero of this town. Fearless, big spot. He taps himself. He says, that's me. Quick Justice Fat. And he pats himself on the shoulder and he says, that's me when I run for mayor. Yes, or run for Congress. He's putting up a big front. But if you look closely on the picture, you'll see lines under his eyes. You'll see that haunted look at him. You know why? Because public officials who do not do their duty can't sleep at night. They're haunted. They pretend to be happy. They may think that they're happy, but they're not. Now the scene shifts, and here's little Annie talking to this dope lawyer that was assigned to her. Oh, brother, that jury is against me 12-0. I'll be a shutout. I'm sunk. I know it. Well, I wouldn't say that. Uncle Spig said that my handling of your defense was very good. Yeah? Good for your Uncle Spig? Oh, you did your best. You're the way you are through no fault of your own. You were born that way, I suppose. Oh, yes. My mother thought I did a marvelous job, considering. And Annie says, yes, considering that Mrs. B.H. was her pal, and she's sure I'm guilty of sin. Well, I'm a dead duck. And then the next picture is that of the warden of the jail. You know, you remember his picture. He's a kindly gentleman, and he had a nice wife that lived there. And he says, the jury is balloting now, but I'm afraid it's not good for Annie. What, says his good wife? How can they figure she's guilty after what happened? You mean Miss Collup fell into the cistern? Sure. That proved that Mrs. B.H. must have fallen into that cistern by accident. Well, she's innocent, this good woman is, but it wasn't an accident. She built that cistern to throw poor little Annie Orphan in and fell in herself. And here they are at the table, the kitchen table, and he says, yeah. And it made Miss Collup and the rest of her kind look like fools. That only makes that sort more bullheaded and vindictive. Then she says they've got to take out their dirty vengeance on some victim. Annie is helpless. She's just their meat. What's the moral, children? The moral is that sometimes prejudice and hatred get into the hearts of men who have sworn to Almighty God to uphold the law and to give fair and just trial to people, all people alike. It goes to show that some men get into office who have prejudices and who will disregard their duty for the sake of popularity, who will even prosecute a little child because the community is against it. It goes to show that there must be some kind of men like this, or the artist would never have thought of it. That's what he's telling you, children. Don't you see? That's why these judges that I picked today, they come from homes like you and me, like your home and my home. They come with experience. They entertain no prejudices. They're just folks, decent, honest, clean. You may not find their names in the social register. You may not find them associating with the clubhouse loafers. And in my case, they do not have to have 10,000 reasons before they may be considered for the appointment as a magistrate. Get what I mean? That's why one must have patience and fortitude.
During that time, the Marines' hymn was played because the nation was still at war with Japan. That was the Honorable Fiorello La Guardia, the late former mayor of New York City, reading the comics to New York City's children and at least a few adults on July 15th, 1945, amid another New York newspaper strike. Today, Wetwash seems to have disappeared from the scene, but Dick, Tess, Junior, and Annie suffer no human frailty. They're all the same age today.